Welcome class 7th. Class 7th, today we are going to continue same chapter, that is chapter light, and this will be your part 5. So children, in last or you can say in previous video we have studied the topic mirror and its type. Yes, and in that we have studied about plane mirror as well as spherical mirror. Yes, and mirrors are basically of two types, that is your plane mirror, okay, and spherical mirror. And then your spherical mirror is further subdivided into two parts, that is your concave mirror and convex mirror. So I hope that topic was clear to you. Then I explained you about that what are concave mirror. As the name suggests, concave, just like a cave. Okay, so suppose this is concave mirror. So in concave mirror, what happens? The outer side where I have made these lines, the outer side is painted, or you can say polished or coated, and inner side act as the inner curved surface act as the reflecting surface. Whereas in convex mirror, what happens? The inner side is coated and the bulging side, that is the outward bulging side, it act as the reflecting surface. So I hope this thing was clear to you. Yes, and same thing is given in your book also, that concave mirror have reflecting surfaces that is curved inward, whereas the reflecting surface of convex mirror bulges outward. It is not that mirror is going to be made like this only, okay, like this. We can make these spherical mirrors like this also. See, like this also, like this also. Okay, so suppose if the outer side is coated, okay, then it is which mirror? This is your concave mirror. Okay, and if inner side is coated, and then it is which mirror? Convex mirror. Okay, and in concave mirror, the inner side, since the outer bulging side is coated, so inner side act as the reflecting surface. If the rays goes like this, so it will reflect like this. Okay, whereas in convex mirror, the outer side, the bulging side, जो बाहर वाली side है, bulging side, it act as the reflecting surface. So if the ray of light incident like this, so it will reflect like this. So I hope this point was clear to you, children. Now we are going to study our next topic, that is the image formed by a plane mirror. Now this is something about ray diagram. Here you will see that how does the image is formed by a plane mirror. Okay, and under that topic, children, first of all, the topic which you will cover first is the when the object is a point object. So you are going to study here the image formed by a plane mirror, and what is the condition if the object, okay, you suppose if you stand in front of the mirror, so it means you are the object and you are looking into the mirror, means you are finding your image in the mirror. Yes, same way here we are going to study the diagram which will show that how does the image of point object is formed in a plane mirror. Okay, plane mirror में point object की image कैसे बनती है? So we are going to study this thing. Now children, here you can see that the small dot, that is your point O, is the object, and this small dot point or this point object is kept in front of this plane mirror. Yes, this point where I am shading like this is the coated portion of the mirror. As you know that in mirror the one side is coated and the other side act as the reflecting surface, or you can say silvering act, one side is done, silver se coat kiya jata hai. Now here we are going to study that how does the image of a point object is formed when a point object is kept in front of a plane mirror. So here O is the point object. Yes, now children, as you know that on this point object O, the light of the, even if this object is kept outside, so sunlight will fall on this object. Okay, or if this point object is kept inside a room, then that's bulb light or tube light will fall. So it means the point object, from this point object many rays are going to come. Yes, suppose let us take only two rays. Okay, this ray OP and OQ. Okay, for making a ray diagram, children, this is called a ray diagram. For making a ray diagram, let us take only two rays. Otherwise, many rays are going to come from that object. You can see here line that let us consider a point object O in front of the plane mirror strip. What is the name of this mirror? M dash. Okay, the rays of light travel out in all direction from point object. पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट से कई सारे रेज दे आर गोइंग टू ट्रेवल इन एवरी डायरेक्शन बट हेयर वी आर गोइंग टू कंसिडर ओनली टू रेज such as OP and OQ. So let us consider only two rays which are coming from the point object. पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट से हम केवल दो रेज ले रहे हैं. वी आर गोइंग टू सी कि इस पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट की इमेज कैसे बनेगी. So we are going to take only two rays from this point object which is going to incident on this plane mirror strip, that is MM dash. What is the name of the mirror? MM dash. So what is the first ray which is coming from this point object? OP. And which is the second ray? OQ. Okay. Now since children, as you know that mirrors are the best reflectors of the light, so as soon as these rays are going to fall on this mirror, they are going to be reflected back, or you can say they are going to bounce back in the same medium. Yes. So and if they are going to bounce back, as you know that they are going to follow which law? Laws of reflection. Yes. So whatever will be the angle of incidence, okay, same will be the angle of reflection or not? Now see how. Suppose this ray OP, you can see here OP, this ray OP incident on this mirror at point P. So it will reflect like this. Yes. And as you know that as soon as the rays are reflected, a imaginary line that is called normal is generated here. N is the normal. Now whatever will be the angle of incidence here, suppose here the angle of incidence is I1. So this ray will reflect with the same angle, that is angle of reflection R2. It means that whatever will be the angle of reflection angle of incidence I1, same will be the angle of reflection, that is angle R2. You can see from the diagram also children. ये रे ऐसे जा रही है, उसके बाद ये reflect हो रही है like this. So जो and imaginary that time we consider an imaginary normal which is dividing angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So whatever, suppose I1 is the angle of incidence, so and I1 is the angle of incidence and R1 is the angle of reflection. So I1 will be equal to angle I1 will be equal to angle R1, because as you know that whenever any rays fall on the surface, it follows which law? They follow laws of reflection. So you can see here that this first ray is making angle of incidence I1 and the angle of reflection. What is that angle of reflection given here? R2. Angle of incidence is I1 and angle of reflection is R1. Sorry. Angle of incidence is I1, angle of reflection is R1. So they will follow laws of reflection and hence angle I1 will be equal to angle R1. Okay, same way if we consider other ray which is going to incident on the mirror, suppose OQ. So it will also reflect like this. अगर ये ray ऐसे जा रही है तो it will reflect like this. Yes. Now this will also form an angle. You can see here. This ray is forming an angle or not? This ray is forming an angle. That is called your, you can see clearly from the diagram also. I am zooming it. See, this is forming which angle here? I2. The second ray is forming this I2 angle. Yes. Look here. This is your I2. And then it will reflect the ray. So let us say that the reflected rays form which angle? R2. So again both the angles, that is angle I2 will be equal to angle R2, because they are going to follow which law? Laws of reflection. So just I am holding here, just look at the diagram here. See, this is your point object. हमें point object की image लानी है. Okay. So this point object is kept in front of this plane mirror strip, which is the name of the mirror strip is MM dash. Now suppose as the many rays are going to be come from this point object, but for here for image formation we are going to consider only two rays, that is your OP and OQ. Now as you know, as soon as these rays are going to incident on this incident on this mirror, they are going to reflect or not. So suppose this ray, that is your which ray, OQ, is incidenting on this mirror and making an angle with the normal I1, so it is going to reflect like this. And suppose it is making an angle of reflection R1. So what will happen? They are going to follow laws of reflection. Hence we can say that angle I1 will be equal to angle R1. Same way children, and let us consider another ray, that is OQ. Again this ray will reflect like this. Okay, ये ऐसे जा रही है और ये ऐसे reflect करेगी. And this is the another imaginary normal for another ray, that is N dash. This is called N dash. So suppose here it is making angle I2. Angle of incidence is I2. So angle, what will be the angle of reflection? Angle of reflection will be R. That is, it will become now, since angle of incidence is I2, so angle of reflection will become R2. So hence they are going to follow which law? Laws of reflection. Therefore we can say that angle I2 will be equal to angle R2. So I hope children I am clear to you. Now suppose you are as the observer. अगर आपको इसकी image देखनी है mirror में, as you remember that I have shown you the practical demonstration also, that how does this for this laws of verification, laws of reflection का verification का I have shown you the practical demonstration also, and I have shown you with the mirror also. Now suppose that this point object is kept like this, and you are the observer. You are going to look into this mirror from here. Yes. So you will find the image of this point object here. Yes. So how does this image is formed? After reflection, one ray will reflect like this, other ray will reflect like this, and hence the image will be formed behind the mirror. Okay, when these two rays are going to meet, actually these rays are not meeting children. Okay, but for your class 7th I will tell you the level that these rays after reflection they do not meet, but it's virtual image मतलब कि जो हमें we find on inside the mirror. For your class purpose I am saying like this, 7th standard के लिए. Okay, so you will find the image in the mirror. Suppose you are the observer, so you will find the image of this object here. How the image is made? When these rays are made to join, so they are going to meet here, so hence the image is going to form here. Now one more thing you need to notice here children, that the distance of the image which is formed behind the mirror and the distance of the object which is kept in front of the mirror, the object distance and the image distance from the mirror is always same. Okay, if I am saying this is the object and the distance of the object from the mirror is 5 meter, so same will be the distance of the image from the mirror, that will be your 5 meter. So do remember this thing. Okay, and how does the image is formed? Suppose this is the point object which is kept in front of the plane mirror strip, that is dash. So many rays are going to come from this object, but we are, for the practical purpose, we are going to take only 2 rays. Suppose the first ray is OP and second ray is OQ. Now as you know, they are going to follow laws of reflection, and for laws of reflection we take imaginary normal, that is here N. For first ray we take N, and for second ray we take N dash. Now they are going to reflect it like this. Suppose OP is going to reflect like this in the form of PA, and OQ is going to reflect like this in the form of QB. Okay, now it is said that if this line incident ray OP is forming angle of incidence angle I1, so it and the angle of reflection is, suppose angle of reflection is R2, so they are going to follow laws of reflection. You can see, hence we can say that angle I1 will be equal to angle R2. Same way, if I say that a ray OQ is forming angle of incidence I2, that is angle I2, and angle of reflection it is forming angle R2. So again they are following laws of reflection, hence we can say that angle I2 will be equal to angle R2. I hope children I am clear to you. Now same thing is given here also. You can see, let us consider, I am reading here children. Okay, let us consider a point object O kept in front of the plane mirror strip represented by dash. As I told you the name, what is the name of this plane mirror strip? Dash. And in front of this plane mirror strip, which a point object, a object which is in the in the form of a point object, or you can say a small object, is kept in front of the plane mirror. The rays of light travel out in all direction from the point object, I told you. But for practical purpose, we are going to consider only two such rays, OP and OQ, traveling from the point object and incident on the mirror at point P and Q. I told you we are going to take only two rays, OP and OQ, and they are incidenting on the mirror at point P and Q. Okay, let these two rays be reflected along PA. You can see that they are reflected along PA and QB. Okay, draw normals PN and PN dash, PN and QN dash to the mirror at point P and Q respectively. As per the laws of reflection, the angle of incidence and angle of reflection for each incident ray and its corresponding reflected ray are equal. Thus, we can write that angle I1 will be equal to angle R1 and angle I2 will be equal to angle R2. I told you they are, after reflection, they are going to follow which law? Laws of reflection. Now, if the reflected rays PA and PQ, PA and QB, these are the reflected rays, children. Yes, PA and QB, they are the reflected rays. So, if the reflected rays are produced backward, अगर हम इन reflected rays को backward produce करते हैं, okay, if these reflected rays are produced backward, पीछे की ओर extend करते हैं, so they are going to meet at point I. Yes, if we are going to extend these rays backward, they are going to meet at point I behind the mirror. All these things I have explained you. This is the point where these rays seems to be coming from. Okay, coming from, or the point where the image of the object O is formed. And suppose children, if we are the observer and we in front of the mirror, we are observing like this, so हमें लगेगा कि we are going to find the image here. So we will feel that the rays are, or you can say it will appear that the rays from the object are coming from this point I. Okay, now this is the point where these rays seems to be coming from, or the point where the image of the object O is formed. So where does the image of the object O is formed? Suppose this is object O, iska image kahan form kar raha hai? Behind the mirror at point I. Okay, you will see that the length of OS is equals to length of OS is equals to the length SI. I told you children this thing, that this length will be equal to this length. Yes, the distance of the object from the mirror will be equal to the distance of the image from the mirror. अगर ऑब्जेक्ट की डिस्टेंस मिरर से 5 है तो इमेज की भी डिस्टेंस मिरर से कितनी होगी? मिरर भी कितनी दूर पे बनेगी बेटा? it will be, wait, it will also be formed at a distance of 5 meter. Okay, now I think children this thing is clear to you. So the image formed in the plane mirror is as far behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. So how does the image of point object is formed? I think children it is clear to you. Okay, now you can see here one diagram that how does the image of the point object is formed. Yes, you can see here. This, suppose this is the observer, the eye is shown, it is of the human eye. You can see here the plane mirror is there, the back side of the mirror is coated. Okay, and suppose this point object is kept like this. Okay, now we are taking two rays. Suppose one ray is coming from, this is a cake, suppose this is a small object. How does the image is formed? So suppose this is first ray, this is second ray. So both these rays are going to reflect or not? Yes, they are going to reflect. Okay, after reflect, and you can see the normals also. Yes, and if you are the observer, you will find the image where? You will find the image when you will look inside the mirror, you will find the image here. So I hope children it is clear to you. Again, another diagram is there shown to you of point object. You can see here, suppose this is the point object, one ray is going like this from this point object, other ray is going like this, Now we will consider a imaginary normal. Now they are going to reflect like this. Yes, and suppose you are the observer, this is your eye, so you will find the image here, because if we are going to extend these rays backward behind the mirror, the image will be formed here, okay, at that distance. So I hope children it is clear to you. Okay, now coming to another topic, when the object is an extended object. Suppose children the object is quite big in size or extended object है, थोड़ा बड़ा object है, then how does the images form? So I will explain you with the diagram children. Again, suppose this is your pencil. Pencil is the extended object. Now suppose many rays are going to come from this pencil, so we are going to take these two ends, the ends of the ends of this pencil. Okay, so suppose from this end we are taking these two rays, and from this end also we are taking these two rays. As you know, they are going to follow which law? Laws of reflection. So if these rays are incidenting here, so they will reflect like this. Same way, if these rays are incidenting like this, they are also going to reflect like this. Okay, and if these rays are extended backward, okay, these rays are extended backward, you can see how these rays are extended backward. अगर हम इन रेस को पीछे की ओर ले जाएंगे तो they are going to meet at point A dash and point B dash. So here the image will be formed. Okay, and if we are the observer, so we are going to find the image here. तो मिरर में इमेज कैसे बनती है? I hope children it is clear to you. पेंसिल के लिए see, we are taking two rays here, then they are going to reflect like this. Here also they are going to reflect like this, and when we are going to extend these rays backward, they are going to meet at these point A dash and B dash, and there the image will be formed. Now I am reading here. Let us consider an object AB, a small pencil kept in front of the plane mirror strip dash. The rays of light travel out in all direction from the object. Let us consider the rays coming from the point A and B. Okay, so we are taking 2 points of the pencil, that is point A and B, which are the ends of the extended object. These rays falls on the mirror, as you have seen how these rays are falling on the mirror, and after reflection from its surface, the image will be formed at point A dash and B dash. ये A dash है, okay beta, this is your A dash, and here it is your B dash. Okay, also the size of the image will be the same as that of the object. So children, do remember, whatever the image is formed in the mirror, it will be of the same size as the object. Pencil जितनी बड़ी होगी उतना ही image form होगा. And what other point? The distance of the image from the mirror will be same as the distance of the object from the mirror. Okay, so this image will be formed at the same distance from the mirror as this object is kept from this mirror. So I hope children these points are clear to you. Do read this topic again, and if you have any doubt, do comment me. Thank you class.